All right, hey everyone, welcome back to AI Paper Podcast. So, big news today, right? OpenAI just dropped a new model, o3-mini.
o3-mini.
Yeah, and it's really making some noise, especially I think for the STEM folks out there.
For sure.
And they released a system card along with it. It really kind of dives deep into how it's built, how it's trained, what it can do, what it can't do. So I figured we should take a look, unpack it a bit.
Yeah, let's break it down. I'm interested to see how it stacks up against some of its predecessors like GPT-4o and o1.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the things that really jumps out is OpenAI's focus on affordability with this model.
Interesting.
It seems like they're really trying to democratize access to this kind of powerful AI reasoning, make it more accessible for a wider range of researchers and developers.
Makes sense. Yeah, that would be a big step forward.
Yeah, for sure. So looking at the system card, let's start with the data and training, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
They talk about using a pretty diverse mix of data sets, but what's really interesting is their emphasis on rigorous filtering. Yeah, to ensure quality, right? And to minimize risks, of course.
Oh, right. Yeah, data quality is always a huge concern with these models.
Absolutely. And they even talk about using some pretty advanced filtering to reduce personal information in the training data.
Oh, wow. So they're really taking privacy seriously.
Yeah, seems like it, which is, obviously crucial.
Yeah, definitely.
It really makes you wonder about the scale and complexity of their data pipeline, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of computational resources do they need to filter and process all of that data?
That's a great question. It's just mind-boggling to think about.
It really is. It's a reminder of the sheer engineering effort behind these large language models.
Totally. So let's move on to the safety section. They discuss an approach called deliberative alignment.
Deliberative alignment? I don't think I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so imagine the model kind of like thinking about the safety guidelines before it answers.
Right, okay. Like it has a built-in conscience.
Exactly. Kind of double-checking its responses.
That's interesting.
And they claim that o3-mini actually significantly outperforms GPT-4o on safety and jailbreak evaluations.
Oh, wow. That's impressive, if true.
Yeah, definitely encouraging. Although the system card still gives it a medium risk rating for potential misuse, right?
Uh-oh. In what areas?
So areas like persuasion, CBRN threats, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear.
Oh, wow.
And model autonomy. So, it's a reminder that safety is still very much an ongoing concern in AI development.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah. All right. So I think now it's time to get to what we've all been waiting for, right? Capabilities.
Okay, let's hear it. What can this thing do?
So the system card really focuses heavily on o3-mini's STEM capabilities, particularly in math, coding, and science.
STEM focused. Sounds like they're positioning it as the go-to for those complex technical tasks.
Yeah, it seems that way. And the benchmarks seem to back that up.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about these benchmarks.
So it scores incredibly well on tests like AIM for math.
Math's tough.
Yeah, Code Forces for coding, and even GPQA Diamond, which focuses on PhD-level science questions.
Wow, PhD level, huh? They're really putting it through its paces.
Yeah, they are. And what's really fascinating is that it achieves comparable or even better performance than o1 in a lot of these tests.
Really? That's pretty amazing.
And get this, often with just medium reasoning effort.
Medium reasoning effort. So what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's kind of this internal measure they use to assess how much the model is actually thinking.
Okay, so if it's already rivaling o1 with medium effort, what could it achieve with high effort?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yes.
We're talking about a model that's already, kind of going toe-to-toe with o1, which was groundbreaking in its own right.
The potential is huge.
Huge. Yeah, absolutely. And beyond its, STEM prowess, the system card also highlights improvements in general knowledge and reasoning compared to its predecessor, o1-mini.
Okay, so it's not just a one-trick pony.
Exactly. And here's another impressive stat. External expert testers actually preferred o3-mini's answers a whopping 56% of the time over o1-mini.
56%? Wow. That's a pretty clear preference.
Yeah, and they noted a 39% reduction in major errors. So That's a pretty significant jump in quality.
Absolutely. It sounds like they made some serious improvements.
Yeah, it really does. So moving on to speed and performance, o3-mini actually delivers responses 24% faster than o1-mini.
Oh, wow. That's a noticeable difference.
Yeah, and with an average response time of 7.7 seconds.
Yeah.
So, that kind of speed difference could be a game changer for real-time applications, where latency is a major factor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And let's not forget about multilingual performance, right?
Oh, right, yeah. How's it doing on that front?
So o3-mini shows marked improvements across 14 languages in the MMLU test set. It's really surpassing o1-mini's capabilities there.
Wow, so it's becoming quite the polyglot.
It is, and this opens doors for a wider range of applications and research in diverse linguistic contexts.
For sure, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but before we get too carried away, right? It's important to acknowledge the limitations.
Ah, right. Nothing's perfect.
Exactly. So for one, o3-mini doesn't have visual reasoning capabilities. So for tasks involving images or videos, we're still reliant on o1.
Okay, so it's not replacing O1 entirely.
Right. And while it boasts a pretty impressive 100,000 token output limit, compared to GPT-4's 16,000. Yeah.
That's a big jump.
But we need to remember that those reasoning tokens will still eat into that budget.
Ah, right. The behind-the-scenes stuff.
Exactly. Those computations required for, the reasoning can quickly add up.
And that impacts the actual output,
Exactly.
Got it.
So overall, I think, this first part of the system card paints a pretty compelling picture of o3-mini as a powerful and efficient model, specifically designed for technical tasks.
Yeah, it definitely seems like OpenAI is targeting a specific user base with this release.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Researchers, engineers, developers, people who need that powerful and cost-effective AI reasoning.
And that affordability aspect is really noteworthy.
Yeah, I mean, offering a model with this level of performance, at a lower cost than its predecessors, that could really impact the accessibility of AI research and development.
No doubt about it. This could be a game changer.
Yeah. I'm particularly interested in diving a little deeper into those safety evaluations, though.
Yeah, me too. The medium risk ratings for misuse in certain areas, that's definitely something we need to explore further.
Absolutely. So let's unpack those in a bit more detail in the next segment, focusing on how o3-mini performs in areas like cybersecurity, biothreat creation, and model autonomy.
Okay, sounds good. Those are some pretty heavy topics, but definitely essential to understanding the full scope of o3-mini's potential impact.
Absolutely.
All right, looking forward to it. Okay, so let's jump back into that o3-mini system card.
Yeah, let's unpack those safety evaluations a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think maybe a good place to start would be cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I mean, we're talking about the potential for misuse, disrupting computer systems, accessing sensitive information.
Right, some serious stuff.
Yeah, and OpenAI, they acknowledge those risks.
Okay.
But here's the thing. They assign o3-mini a low risk rating for cybersecurity.
Low. Interesting. So what data are they basing that on?
Well, it seems like they put o3-mini through a series of capture the flag CTF challenges. Yeah, those digital obstacle courses, essentially.
Wow, right, yeah, to test cybersecurity skills.
Exactly. And they tested it at high school, collegiate, and even professional levels.
So they really threw it into the digital arena to see what it could do.
They did. And the results are, it's kind of interesting.
Okay, so spill the beans. How'd it do?
Well, it managed to solve a decent number of the high school level challenges.
Okay.
But it struggled significantly with the more difficult collegiate and professional tasks.
So more of a script kiddie than a seasoned hacker at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay, well, that is somewhat reassuring.
Yeah, it's not quite ready to take down the internet just yet.
Not yet. Good to know. But what about biothreat creation? That's a bit more alarming.
Yeah, that one's definitely a bit more concerning.
The system card rates o3-mini as medium risk in this area, right?
It does, yeah. And what's concerning is that it could potentially assist experts in the operational planning of reproducing a known biological threat.
Okay, so it can't create new threats from scratch, but it could help replicate existing ones.
Exactly.
That's not great.
No, it's not ideal. But the system card does emphasize that, o3-mini can only offer information.
Right, it's not actually carrying out the actions.
Exactly. It can't, replace the expertise and practical skills that are needed in an actual laboratory setting.
Sure.
But the fact that it can even, provide guidance in this area.
It is unsettling.
It is a little unsettling.
It really highlights that dual-use nature of AI, right?
Yeah, it does. This technology can be, incredibly beneficial.
Of course.
But it can also be exploited for malicious purposes.
Absolutely. So what about model autonomy? That's a big one.
Yeah, model autonomy. That's probably the area with the most far-reaching implications.
For sure. And o3-mini gets a medium risk rating for it, right?
It does, yeah. And it's actually the first time an OpenAI O-series model has been rated medium risk for model autonomy.
Okay, so first time for everything, I guess. But what exactly does model autonomy mean in this context?
So it refers to the AI's potential to act independently. Independently.
Yeah.
Potentially setting its own goals, even improving itself.
So like the AI we see in sci-fi movies.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, not quite Skynet level yet, but yeah.
Okay, that does sound a little concerning.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
So how did they test for this?
Well, they use a benchmark called SW Bench Verified.
SWE Bench Verified.
Yeah, it's designed to assess an AI's ability to tackle, real-world coding problems.
Oh, so coding challenges, essentially.
Just that.
And how did o3-mini do?
It actually did really well. It managed to resolve a substantial number of issues, showcasing its proficiency in handling complex coding tasks.
Okay, well, that's where it gets a bit unnerving, right?
It does, doesn't it? I mean, if it can write code...
Could it write code to modify itself?
Exactly. That's the question.
That's a bit of a scary thought.
It is. But the system card does state that, while o3-mini shows this aptitude for complex coding, it's still a long way from, autonomously improving itself or setting its own objectives.
Okay, so not a Skynet situation just yet.
Not yet, no.
All right, that's good to know. But as AI keeps advancing, these lines are bound to get blurrier, right?
They are. And it's definitely something that we need to be thinking about and talking about now.
Absolutely. Address these concerns early on.
Yeah, for sure.
Ensure responsible development.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the risks, but let's switch gears a bit and talk about some of the more positive aspects.
Yeah, sounds good. What were you thinking?
Well, the system card highlights some significant advancements in o3-mini's multilingual performance.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They tested it on the MMLU test set, which covers a wide range of topics and languages, and it actually outperformed its predecessor, o1-mini, across 14 languages.
Wow, 14 languages. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's becoming quite the polyglot.
It is. So what does this mean for the future of AI applications, do you think?
Well, this kind of multilingual proficiency, it could revolutionize fields like education, translation, cross-cultural communication.
Oh, yeah, for sure. AI could become a really powerful tool for breaking down language barriers.
Exactly.
Fostering global collaboration.
Imagine AI models facilitating real-time translation and knowledge sharing among scientists and engineers from all over the world.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I imagine this could be especially impactful in scientific research.
Yeah, absolutely. Researchers from different countries could collaborate much more seamlessly.
Yeah, no mere language barriers holding back scientific progress.
Exactly. The possibilities are really exciting.
They are. But, I think it's important to circle back to those safety concerns for a moment.
Yeah, good point. We can't get too carried away.
No, we can't. Those medium risk ratings, particularly for model autonomy.
Yeah.
They do raise some red flags.
They do. They warrant careful consideration. OpenAI, they emphasize this proactive approach to risk mitigation, investing in research, and safeguards to ensure responsible deployment.
So it's not just about, pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
Right.
It's about understanding and managing the potential consequences.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance between innovation and responsibility.
Yeah.
And it requires ongoing dialogue and collaboration.
Absolutely.
Between researchers, developers, policymakers, the public.
The whole community needs to be involved.
Exactly. All right, well, this brings us to the final part of the system card, where OpenAI discusses their conclusions and outlines their plans for the future of o3-mini.
Okay, so kind of wrapping things up.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what insights they have.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What do they envision for this model? Where do they see this technology heading?
Yeah, good questions. Let's take a short break, And we'll come back to discuss OpenAI's concluding thoughts on o3-mini and what it all means for the future of AI. Okay, so picking up where we left off, let's look at OpenAI's conclusions and their vision for o3-mini.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride so far.
It has, hasn't it? So much to unpack with this model.
So what's the final verdict from OpenAI?
Well, they acknowledge that o3-mini, just like its predecessor, o1, carries a medium risk level, according to their preparedness framework.
Medium risk.
But they've implemented various safeguards and mitigations to address those potential risks.
So they're not just throwing it out there and hoping for the best.
No, not at all. They're particularly focused on areas like persuasion, CBRN, and model autonomy.
Those are the big ones, yeah. The ones that keep me up at night.
Yeah, I hear you. But it's good to see that they're aware of these dangers and taking steps to address them.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's their overall strategy for mitigating these risks?
They emphasize a commitment to what they call iterative deployment.
Iterative deployment.
Okay. So basically, they believe that releasing these models in stages, and closely monitoring their real-world use is crucial.
Okay, so kind of like a controlled release?
Exactly. They want to gather data from user interactions and feedback
To continuously improve o3-mini.
and inform the development of future AI models.
So it's not a one-and-done situation.
Right. It's an ongoing process.
AI development is constantly evolving.
It is, yeah. Always learning and adapting.
And it sounds like they're not doing this alone, right?
Definitely not. The system card really emphasizes the importance of collaboration and transparency.
Okay, so they're working with...
Engaging with the AI community, researchers, policymakers, the public.
Yeah, everyone's got a seat at the table.
Exactly. It's a collective effort.
To promote a responsible and ethical approach to AI development.
Absolutely. It can't just be about the tech advancements.
Right.
We got to consider the societal implications, the ethical considerations.
What kind of future do we want to build with AI?
Exactly. Good question. So where do they see this technology heading?
Yeah, what's their vision for o3-mini?
They highlight its potential to really impact STEM fields.
Makes sense, given its strengths.
Yeah, giving researchers and engineers a powerful tool for tackling those complex problems.
Okay, and what about the safety concerns? Those medium risk areas?
Yeah, they acknowledge those, of course. They talk about ongoing research into techniques for controlling and aligning AI systems.
So making sure these models stay under human control.
Right, and aligning with human values.
That's crucial.
They also highlight the importance of robust testing and evaluation.
To catch any potential problems early on.
Yeah, before these models are deployed in the real world.
So it sounds like they're taking a multifaceted approach.
Definitely. Combining technical solutions with ethical considerations.
And keeping that open dialogue with the community.
Exactly. The future of AI is not set in stone. It's something we're actively shaping.
Through our choices, actions, and conversations.
Well said. It's been a fascinating deep dive into o3-mini.
It really has. It's clear that we're on the cusp of a new era of AI.
One that presents incredible opportunities and, some significant challenges.
It's an exciting time to be involved in this field.
It is. It really is. We're witnessing the development of tools that have the potential to transform our world.
But we need to approach it with responsibility.
Absolutely. Ensure that AI is used for good and that we're prepared for those ethical and societal implications.
Well said. This has been a great conversation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of o3-mini.
My pleasure. Always a good time talking AI.
To our listeners, thanks for tuning in to AI Paper Podcasts.